Lovely. Good morning and welcome to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence. I'm Polly McCall. I'm your worship assistant this morning. I'd like to invite the prayer chaplains forward as we begin every service with prayer.
Good morning. Let's take a deep breath in and release. And we center ourselves here in this beautiful, loving home, our spiritual home, and center ourselves in our heart space, knowing that we are born of love and that we are to create from love. And we are here gathered together because we help each other shine our love light brighter and brighter in this world. And we give thanks that we are gathered together. We are divinely appointed to be here, to share in this music, in the meditation, and in the message. We give thanks for this beautiful day. And together, let us say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Karen. Our chaplains are a special group of people that are here to hold sacred space and to provide opportunities for one-on-one prayer support. Karen will be up here at the front at the end of the service if you would like to take advantage of that service. And now let's join Michaela as we sing our opening song.
I know who my source is, I know who I am, part of all that is, connected and whole I am. Yes, I know who my source is, I know who I am, part of all that is, connected and whole I am. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I know what my truth is, I know where I stand, part of all that is, connected and whole I am. Yes, I know what my truth is, I know where I stand. I'm standing on solid ground, connected and whole I am. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. Now let's turn and greet each other with a handshake or a hug. I know who my source is, I know who I am, part of all that is, connected and whole I am. Yes, I know who my source is, I know who I am, part of all that is, connected and whole I am. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I know what my truth is, I know where I stand, part of all that is, connected and whole I am. Yes, I know what my truth is, I know where I stand. I'm standing on solid ground, connected and whole I am. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am.
Thanks, Michaela. And now let's join in entering this sacred space with our souls and with our feelings, with our attention, by affirming Unity's founding principle together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision together. United in divine love, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And now our mission as a community together. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now let's welcome Tom and C.S. Luxem, who are providing our special music today.
As long as I remember, the rain been coming down, clouds of mystery pouring, confusion on the ground. Good man through the ages, trying to find the sun. And I wonder, who stopped the rain?
I went down Virginia, seeking shelter from the storm. Caught up in the fable, I watched the tower grow. 5-year plans and new deals, wrapped in golden chain. And I wonder, still I wonder, who stopped the rain?
Well, I heard the singers playing, well, how we cheered for more. The crowd had rushed together, trying to keep warm. Still the rain kept pouring, falling on my ears. And I wonder, still I wonder, who stopped the rain?
I'd like to introduce somebody who doesn't need much of an introduction to this community, Diane Silver, our own board president and a writer who's written 2 books on hope. And welcome, Diane.
Good morning, good morning. Okay, so today we're going on an expedition to find hope, so I thought I'd dress appropriately. I have my hat. I have my shirt that I wear when I've actually been on expeditions to jungles, because you don't want the bugs, and there are stinging vines, you don't want them. And I have my backpack with my little camelback and my little sippy thing. So I'm ready. Yes, sir?
The crowd, can we just, tell the story and then you follow?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, Emmett. So I'm ready because we all know, don't we? Don't we all know that to truly find faith, you got to get dressed up in something special? You've got to do something out of the ordinary. You've got to go to workshops. You've got to crawl up that mountain on your knees. And preferably without the camelback and the sippy tube. Well, guess what? I don't think so. I don't think you and I need anything special to find faith. Old jeans, walking shoes, t-shirt, maybe some beads to dress it up. This is pretty much how I dress normally when I come here. Not a very fancy person. I think you need 3 things to find faith. One, we need to understand what faith is. Two, we need to commit to finding faith. And three, we need to act. Now, I come to you today speaking not as your board president. I am not a spiritual leader. I am not a life coach. I am a poet. And a poet's job is to work with words, of course, but one of our jobs is to pay attention, pay rapt attention. And so that's what I've been doing throughout my life, particularly on the subject of faith, because boy, have I needed it. So what is faith? What is faith? Well, okay, and I'm telling you today, these are the ideas of Diane, poet, not unity teacher, not unity minister. Take what works for you, leave the rest behind. My idea on faith is that it has nothing to do with belief. We tend in our culture today to conflate the two, to think faith and belief in something like God are the same. But I ask you, do you not know of people, of ministers, of followers, of congregations, of anyone who claim to believe in God and yet have absolutely no faith in the goodness that can come to this world, in the goodness that we can create with our own two hands, with our hearts, with our minds, with our spirit, in love? In fact, we're not very far from some folks in Topeka who take hate as their guiding message, and they claim to believe in God. Now, I also know of people who do not believe in God at all, but have great faith. They can move mountains. They can feed people who are poor. They can go down to the border and help people who are in desperate need. So, Diane's idea, my idea, take it if you like it or leave it behind, is that faith and belief are two different things. Belief in God does not necessarily equate with faith. So what is faith? Diane, you crazy woman, you strange poet. What is faith? Faith, I believe, is a feeling that we can make a difference in the world, that love actually does exist, even in the worst of times, that human beings can actually do good things, that there is even maybe a spiritual goodness that we can tap into. Now, Sister Joan Chichester, whose name I barely can say, but who is a brilliant writer, says, faith drives us on, trusting in a future we cannot see, but are bound to pursue. I think faith and courage are a little bit similar, too. You know, courage, people think to be brave. You're not supposed to have any fear. You just run into that burning building to save that baby. You're courageous. Well, if you don't have any fear, there's no courage. There's nothing, there's no effort, there's no will. Courage, bravery without fear isn't courage. There's nothing brave. If you've had your emotions surgically removed from you, which I think may be possible, then it's not courage. Faith is similar. Faith takes courage. We also feel doubt at times. As human beings, we will feel doubt. We may not have faith in goodness. We may not have faith that things will work out. Most of all, I feel like faith is a feeling. It's intellectual. Oh, yeah. I believe that the world can be good. I have faith that this congregation will survive. I have faith that what I say today will be helpful to you. I have faith the sun will rise in the morning. That's kind of intellectual. But I think faith is also a feeling. It is a feeling. And I'm going to tell you right now about the first time I consciously remember feeling faith. I was 5 years old. It was the summer before I went to kindergarten. Now, most of you probably don't know, I grew up in Michigan. In fact, I grew up in a suburb of Detroit, a place called Garden City. It's on the west side of Detroit, if you know anything about Detroit, not far from Livonia. It is a lower middle class suburb. If any of you remember the song, the ticky-tacky little houses all on the road, that was my suburb. They built the same house over and over and over again. And in fact, if a friend's mother was driving you home, you couldn't tell them, go to the big house on the corner or the little house on the corner. You had to count the number of houses. That's the only way you could tell them apart. They were fairly close together. And oh, by the way, if you've ever flown into Detroit Metropolitan Airport, you've probably come in on a landing path over my old house. Because the planes used to come in, like you felt like you could reach up and touch them. Shaking you with their power. I also grew up in a household where there was violence, there was anger, there was alcoholism. There was love too, but there were a lot of challenges. So when I was 5, the summer I was 5, my parents decided to drive up to northern Michigan, to just outside a little town called Alpena, and stay in a cabin up there on a small inland lake. If you know Michigan, it is surrounded by the Great Lakes. Hi, your map of Michigan is your palm. It is true. Look at a satellite. It does look like this. Look at a satellite image. Massive bodies of fresh water are all around this. Lake Huron, Detroit is about here. This is Lake Huron. It is huge. It is about the size of the state of Kansas. And I know I'd been on Great Lakes before. I know I'd been on the shore. I'd seen pictures of me as a little kid. But for some reason, this time, when I was 5 years old, and we drove up to stay on our little inland lake, because we couldn't afford to be on the big lake. And we stopped at the big lake. We stopped at a little park, a little white sand beach, before we went and checked into our cabin. We stopped, took off our shoes, because when you're walking in sand, it's easier if you walk barefoot. And the sand was hot, stung the bottom of my feet. And we walked through these little stand of trees, and then, whoa! In front of me was infinity. I keep trying to write poems about this. I keep trying to explain it. But it is the ocean, except it smells of fresh water. Clean, clean waves rolling in. The horizon is a line where one blue meets another blue. Waves, the sound of waves. And I was 5 years old, and I stood there in my shorts and my little t-shirt and my bare feet, and I went, oh! And my memory is I just stood there. And I opened up. This is what Thomas More, who's a writer and a former monk, calls ordinary mysticism. It was an ordinary mystic experience. I don't know. Maybe I felt one with God. Maybe I just suddenly, the sight of this Sweetwater Sea opened me up in a way to feel the spirit that I never had. I don't know intellectually what it was, except I felt like my skin became porous. Every wall that I had ever built around myself, all the anger that had come with me from the house, the feeling in my house of never being safe, whop, fell away. The feeling that a plane was going to land on your house at any moment, maybe drop out of the sky and splat, all fell away. I was on the shore of infinity, and I knew in that moment, I knew that everything was okay. I was 5. I didn't intellectually say everything was okay. I just felt it in my gut. It was all fine. and it would be fine. And I didn't have to know how or when it would be fine. It would just be fine. Life would be fine. Life would be good. And that I had power I hadn't even begun to tap. And it wasn't even the power of being a grown-up. It was something else. I even knew at 5 years old it was something beyond that. That was my first experience of a feeling of faith, my first conscious experience. And I'm willing to bet that some of you, if not a lot of you, have had similar experiences. Maybe you're on a mountain. Maybe you're at a lake. Maybe you're at an ocean. Maybe you're just walking down the street. But it's that sense that's so common. Thomas More was writing about it. Ordinary mysticism. You just open up. And everything that seems to be a problem just falls away. And you go, oh, it's like you suddenly get perspective. Oh, I don't have to worry about that. As a grown-up, when it's happened to me, and that feeling comes into me, then I go, oh, the mortgage payment, the rent, the car, yeah, it's okay. I get perspective. It's going to be fine. It's going to be dealt with. So this is one aspect of faith. It's a feeling, and that has powered me throughout the rest of my life. I didn't even realize it at the time. I didn't realize it for years. But that feeling, which I would touch over and over again through my life, powered me. Let me know it was going to be okay. Life was going to be okay. I was going to survive and do well. So the first thing about faith is to understand. Faith can be intellectual. It can be, yeah, there's love in the world, there's goodness in the world. It's all going to be okay. And it can include belief in God. It just doesn't always. Faith also takes commitment. And for me personally, this is the hardest part. Because commitment is, I'm going to stay committed to having faith, even though right now at this very moment I feel really, 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 really terrible. Even though I'm in deep despair. Even though I feel like I'm going to die. Even though I feel like my heart has been cut out. Even though it feels like nothing will ever fix the world. I've made a commitment to have faith. In other words, I've said to myself, yes, I commit to this. Okay, I feel bad right now. Someone I love dearly has died. I think my country is turning fascist. I think horrible things are happening. I'm desperate. I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills. Okay, I'm going to cross my fingers to a certain extent, and I'm going to go, okay, I just commit to it. I just say yes. And that doesn't mean that I have to feel good all the time, because it's kind of, we are human beings. Now, I really have the sneaking suspicion that we are spiritual beings having a material experience. I have no proof for that, can't prove it. But that's part of my faith, I guess, my gut, my beliefs. And so at the moment when I lose my faith, when doubt comes in, when I'm in despair, when I hurt physically or emotionally, when all I want to do is run away, I go, okay. I still say yes to faith. And I also treat myself gently. I don't say, you stupid person, why do you feel bad now? You must always feel good. I think sometimes in unity, we can sometimes have a tendency to do that, where we beat ourselves up for not always feeling good. In the moments when I lose my faith, I go, First, it usually takes me 24, 48, 72 hours to go, why do I feel so awful? What's going on? And then I go, oh, yeah, okay, I'm here again. Despair's taken over. Horrible feelings have taken over. And then that's where the commitment gets me through. I go, I have committed to having faith in love, faith in goodness. That also may be faith in God. I have committed to having that faith. Okay, so I'm just going to hang in there. That's what I tell myself. I'm just going to hang in there until it gets better. And one of the things that has helped me enormously is the idea that fake it till you make it. I think that's a 12-step saying. Fake it till you make it. Or another thing I tell myself is, pretend I feel faith. How would I act? What would I do? Just do that. And then just take a break and don't beat myself up. So commitment to keep going on, that's also part of it. Understanding and commitment. The third thing is to act. And by act, I mean is to do things that will help us feel faith. Now, that may involve going to a workshop. It may involve, and I made fun of this in the beginning, but it actually may involve crawling up a mountain on your knees if that helps you. But I don't know, maybe not quite that, but it could help. For me, what makes a difference is coming here every Sunday, meeting with friends, laughing with friends, prayer, meditation. I do this crazy thing with meditation where I go through my life, I am too busy, I don't have time to meditate, even 10 minutes in the morning. I'm just going to go through life, and then I end up feeling horrible. I'm going, what's going on? Oh, I haven't meditated in 4 months. I haven't prayed 4 months. And then I go, okay, sit down and do it. So my pattern with prayer and meditation is, do it, forget about it. Oh, do it, forget about it. Oh, I've just decided to stop beating myself up about that. That it's okay, that's just the way I do it. I will do the best I can. So when I say act, I mean do whatever helps you feel faith. And now, this may not be true of you, I don't know, but of me, on and off, being involved politically has helped me feel faith. Even when I've been involved in what were lost causes, what seemed to be lost causes. I was very active in the LGBTQ rights movement years ago, back when we had no chance of winning anything. And what shocked me about that, just shocked me, was that when I got involved in a campaign, and we had polls for this particular campaign I'm thinking of, that said we were going to lose 70% to 30%. It was a statewide vote. We were going to lose. And we're going, why are we even trying? Because we had faith that eventually it would make a difference. And of course it did. But what I remember, and I remember my friends saying to me, how can you be involved with that? You're going to small town Kansas. Number one, they're going to stone you. And number two, it's just miserable. You know you're going to lose. And yet it made me feel good to take this kind of political action. I knew I was standing up and saying the truth. And what really surprised me was I met other people in the weirdest places, on ranches, in farms, in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, in these little tiny towns, where one time, when we were creating a new statewide organization, there was a woman who was putting up a sign in a really tiny town in western Kansas. I think she was putting it up, I'm not certain where, the grocery store? You know, come to the meeting, gay rights meeting. It was like, whoa. I was impressed that she was even doing that. And this woman came up to her, and my friend who was in our organization was like, okay, what am I going to get? Someone going to hassle me? And the woman said to her, dear, I'm not really much of an activist. I don't know what to do, but can I make cookies for you? And when she told that story at our organizing meeting, we were like, oh gosh, we all got to cry. It's like when you give people an opportunity to stand up in truth, when you give them an opportunity to be good, they will be. And that replenishes your feeling of faith. Now, I hope some of this is making sense. Making sense? Not, if it isn't, that's fine. So we have to understand what faith is. Faith is an intellectual idea. Faith is a feeling. We have to commit to, yes, we're going to go forward with faith even if we feel like we've lost it. We're going to act We're going to pursue prayer and meditation and music. Oh, dancing. Whew, that does it. For me, that puts me connected to faith. And we're also, I think, in amongst all that, we're going to surrender the idea. We're going to let go the idea that we have to control everything. Oh, that's a hard one for me. We have to let go of the idea that the good in the world, the love in our personal lives and in the world in general, is going to show up on our time frame, on our schedule. We have to let go of the idea that we control. One of my favorite quotes is from the movie The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. If anyone remembers that. One of the characters is, as I remember, I think he's riding around the city on his bicycle or something, or a little scooter, and he says, everything will be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, then it's not yet the end. That's faith, and I think that's just what we have to do, is to let go of our control and know, let go of our false sense of control and know that whatever we fear, we're going to be okay. Maybe not exactly in the way that we thought, and almost certainly not in the time frame we thought, but all is okay. Now I want to tell you one more story about faith in me, and this is me as a 10-year-old. I write personal lyric poetry, and so I spend a lot of time navel-gazing, so you get stories about me. So as a 10-year-old, I'm living in this, we were still living in Garden City, Michigan. If anything, the situation at home had gotten worse. I realized later as an adult, when I was a grown-up and had done multitudes of therapy, I think I actually helped buy sports cars for a couple of therapists. They were so pleased to see me coming, but they helped me a lot. I realized then, when I worked with them, that as a child, I either thought I had already died or I wasn't going to live. So it was scary. It was a scary place to be. And I couldn't drive myself to Lake Huron and have that communing with God in faith. I was a kid. So I discovered this amazing thing that helped me find my faith. And do you know what it was? It was a puddle. It was a puddle. Now, when I was 10 years old, I thought this puddle was really far away from me. Now, looking back on it, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 blocks away. But as a kid, it was this massive expedition I took. I would, in moments of great despair, charge down East Road Street, which is where I lived, get to the elementary school and the junior high, go kitty corner across the playgrounds, find Henry Ruff Road, charge down that street, and down there, just half a block before we came to Ford Road, which was the big road that I was never supposed to cross, because it was kind of like 23rd Street, a lot of traffic. There was this office building, this relatively small office building. I think it was a doctor's office. There was a parking lot. And I don't know why there was always a puddle next to the parking lot. But there was. I don't know if there was a hole there or the drainage was bad, that there was a big puddle. It was maybe the size of this stage, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe rain. Rain could do that too. Absolutely. But there was pretty much always a puddle there. And it was a big puddle. And I would sit on the shore of my puddle. And I would watch the wind ruffle the top of that water, that little bit of water. And it would make little tiny ruffled waves. And if the sun was just right, you could see little silver diamonds going up and down the waves. And it was beautiful. It was incredibly beautiful. and it immediately put me back at Lake Huron, and I could feel my faith again. I could feel it was all right. There was no reason for me to believe that it was all right, that it was going to be all right. I was 10 years old. I had no power. I had no idea what was going to go on in the future, but it has been all right. It's been wonderful. And what I went through then helped lead me to other things, lead me to the therapy, lead me to other things that would have helped me now. And that puddle helped me feel my faith. So as I close, I want you to remember that no matter how difficult it may feel right now, you can find your puddle. Maybe a puddle, maybe the sky. That's another thing that's wonderful. If you're like me, you're a beauty junkie. No matter where you are, you can almost always see the sky, even a little tiny bit of it. But you can find the faith to go on. You can understand, you can commit, you can act. And here's the final message I have for you. I have faith in every single one of you sitting here today. You are spiritual beings having a human experience. You are friggin' amazing, every single one of you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Namaste. Clap after the song so we can go right into the meditation.
In a world redundancy running throughout my head, when I haven't really said anything at all, trouble staying in the place that my body is at, wondering what could have been, what will, and what is that? Running on down in a little love, running on down in a little love, running on down in a little love, running up. Take the A-15 to Jackson every single day, standing shoulder deep with a man stuck in a briefcase. Though he may be watching from his lonely Sears tower, as you're laying to the ground, the world is spinning round, running on down in a little love, running on down in a little love, running on down in a little love, running out.
Take a deep breath in, breath out. Settle yourself in your chair. Feel the seat. Feel the back. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Take yourself to a place that moves your soul. It can be anywhere. It can be a made-up place, can be a place you've been. Imagine yourself in this place. See it. Hear it. Smell it. Feel the temperature of the air. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Know that you are safe here. Know that you are safer than anywhere you have ever been. Let go of constraints. Feel everything around you. We have come here. We have come here because we are the powerful of the earth. We have come here to change this world for good. We have come here to love. We have come here to love. Breathe in, breathe out. Let go of your body for a minute if you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the blessing of all who are collected here. Feel the blessing of this moment. Now bring yourself back to your chair. Feel the chair. Feel the floor. If your soul is taking a journey, gently bring it back. Welcome it into your body. Welcome it into your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
When this old world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face.
I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all of my cares just drift right into space.
On the roof it's peaceful as can be, and there the world below don't bother me. Tell you down when I get home feeling tired and beat, I go up where the air is fresh and sweet.
Get away from the hustling crowd and all that rat race noise out in the street.
Well, on the roof's the only place I know where you just have to wish to make it so. Let's go up on the roof. At night the stars put on a show for free, and darling, you can share it all with me. I keep on telling you, smack there in the middle of town, I found a paradise that's trouble-proof. And if this old world starts getting you down, there's room enough for two up on the roof, up on the roof, up on the roof.
We've come to the time in our service where we celebrate what we've been given with our time of thanks. I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts as we affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. As the love offering is collected, let's join Michaela in singing Yes, I Am.
Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. And I know forevermore that I am love. Yes, I know forevermore that I am love. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to to be the love of God, my God, of God, my God, of God, my God.
We bless these gifts that are given in love, and they are received in love, and they bless our spiritual home and our spiritual community. And we give thanks. Together, let us say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen.
Now I have the privilege of sharing with you several opportunities. First of all, a special welcome to our guests today. If you're here for the first time, we invite you to pick up a welcome packet in our office. Our September calendar of events is also available in the foyer. Our lunch bunch is meeting at Panera Bread on 23rd Street. This is an informal group. Everyone is welcome to join. Save the date. Dr. Garland Landreth is offering a 2-day workshop on October 6th and 7th, as well as individual appointment sessions. There's more information in the foyer. Join us next Sunday as Jay Pryor brings us the message, Believing in Yourself. Our guest musician will be Michael Paul. And now I'd like to invite Sharon Dwyer forward to talk about her class.
Hello. One of our previous ministers, greatly beloved by me, is Reverend Cherie Taylor Jones, and her book is out. Yes, she wrote a book, and it's called Turn Your Why into Why Not. And it is available on Amazon for $14.95 or something, ends up being $16 something. Anyway, or as an ebook for less. I am going to teach a class or facilitate a book study, a discussion of this book on the first 4 Thursday evenings, the first 4 Thursday evenings of October from 6 to 7:30 p.m. because I figure it's going to start getting dark and we want to go home. Now, if I'm wrong, we'll see. Anyway, so I invite all of you to order that book and to come participate. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sharon. We don't have any youth today, so I'd like to invite you to rise, join hands, and join Michaela in singing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other